Hello, folks! Who doesn't enjoy swimming? Ripping your clothes off, diving into the water, and just letting go is one of the best experiences you can have as a human being. Plus, it has a lot of health benefits. But while you can safely enjoy a good swim in most places, there are still some locations around the world that you should avoid at every cost. So buckle up, guys. Here's a list of 10 places you should never, ever swim. Let's get it on! Number 10. Glory Hole. Listen up, daredevils. It doesn't matter how good of a swimmer you think you are. Lake Berryessa in California is one body of water you should only admire from afar. Yeah, we know you want to cross it off your bucket list and flex on people that you've swum in the lake with the infamous 200 feet deep spillway known as the Glory Hole. Back in 1997, a woman was sucked into this, and as you can probably expect, she didn't make it out alive. But this massive hole isn't the only dangerous thing about the lake. As gorgeous as it may look, appearances can be deceptive. Beneath the surface, there's rugged, sloped terrain with super steep drop-offs that are almost exactly like the mountain ridges above. According to reports, at least 335 people have drowned in these treacherous waters since 1957. Number 9. Do not jump into the unknown. The River Wharfe is one of the most gorgeous waterways in all of Britain. What's more, it passes through some of the most scenic and picturesque countryside in Yorkshire. But hold up, please never, ever even think about taking a swim here. So what makes this river so dangerous? Well, because you can't see the bottom. The depths are super misleading. Also, there are a bunch of hidden drops. And most of all, the current is deceptively strong. What makes it even more deadly is that the water is extremely cold. And nope, it rarely rises any higher during summertime. Often people get in trouble while swimming because their bodies go into shock, and despite their best efforts, they cannot make it back to land. So yeah, it doesn't matter how good of a swimmer you think you are, you can't do anything if you're literally unconscious. Number 8. The most contaminated place on Earth. Next up on our list is Lake Karachay. Forget about swimming, you shouldn't even come close to this one. This is a small lake present in the southern mountains of Russia, and between 1951 and 1953, it was used as a dumping site for radioactive waste coming from Chelyabinsk 65, a nuclear waste storage and reprocessing plant. According to reports, this has been ranked as the most polluted spot on the entire blue planet. The level of radioactivity here has been measured at 4.44 exabecquerels, which is almost as much as the level produced by the Chernobyl disaster. This lake is so incredibly polluted that its waters can kill you within 60 minutes. Thankfully, tourists aren't allowed to come here, and the only way you can see it is if you pass through government-regulated checkpoints, although we seriously doubt anyone would ever want to. Number 7. Historic, sacred, and polluted. Now, if you're ever in the great country of India, please avoid taking a swim in the infamous Ganges River. While locals believe that this is a place to wash away a lifetime of sins and find salvation, it's so incredibly polluted that swimming here can actually kill you or at the very least make you super sick. The water here is classified as septic because it's full of highly toxic bacteria, and there's no dissolved oxygen inside. Did you know that over 30 different sewers are constantly discharging into this river? Apart from that, industrial and agricultural waste, remnants of burned or unburned bodies, and carcasses of wild and domesticated animals all contribute to making this one of the most dangerous rivers in the entire world. Number 6. A hangout spot for sharks. The new Simra Beach in Florida is very, very beautiful. The pristine blue waters, the gorgeous sand, and the unique shops make this one of the most popular spots in the state. Its massive waves also attract a bunch of surfers and swimmers every year. But guess what? Lurking just beneath the water is a huge population of dangerous bull sharks. Every year, people find themselves getting bit, and while it's rarely life-threatening, the pain can be excruciating. In fact, there are so many terrible incidents here that it's been dubbed as the shark attack capital of the world. Now, we don't know about you, but we've seen enough movies to know that we absolutely do not want to swim with sharks. We'd rather just stay home and watch Steven Spielberg's Jaws on repeat. Number 5. A lake shaped like a horseshoe. Now, on the surface, this one isn't all that dangerous. No, it's actually quite a popular spot for cliff divers, especially on a hot, sunny day. But don't let all that beauty fool you. There's a catch. An 80-feet catch. Oftentimes, what starts as a fun day trip to Horseshoe Lake in Alberta, Canada, ends up with a trip to the hospital. Or worse. The long way down from the cliff into the lake has proven to be deadly in some cases. So much that the local hospital close by regularly gets cliff jumps gone wrong in the emergency room. Another problem is that the lake has even caused some deaths due to the high amounts of lethal gas hydrogen sulfide. This is also what gives the lake its characteristic rotten egg smell. Plus, it also emits almost 50 to 150 tons of carbon dioxide every single day. If we were you, we'd probably just go and admire the view and leave swimming for another day. Number 4. The Boiling Lake. In the Morne Trias Pittons National Park, there is one of the most dangerous bodies of water in the entire world, the Boiling Lake. Yes, that name's pretty literal. It's filled with boilish grayish water that's almost always covered in an absolutely massive cloud of vapor. Now, even though there have been reports of the water cooling down a little recently, only someone with a death wish would decide to take a swim here. It doesn't matter how gratifying jumping into this sounds, it's still a super risky venture. Did you know that back in 1901, 2 people died on the shore of the lake? This happened because of the strong gas emissions radiating from the bubbling water. Number 3. No light at the end of the tunnel. Now, which one of us doesn't want to visit Thailand? It's got delicious food, rich culture, gorgeous scenery, and great beaches. Something for literally every single person. But this is one place in the country we'd avoid at all costs. The Samisan Hole is one of the deepest and scariest areas in Thailand to dive in because it's extremely dark. There's almost zero visibility at some points, and we don't like getting lost anywhere, but can you imagine getting lost in the middle of the ocean? You can easily forget what way you came in, and things can go very wrong very quickly. Seriously, you can be the best swimmer in the world, but once you start panicking and fatigue catches up with you and there's just nothing you can absolutely do, you're screwed. Number 2. Baby Blue. So folks, what's worse than rock bottom is never finding it at all. Located in Kardino-Balkaria, Russia, the Blue Lake is famous for its very blue color. That's because, like Horseshoe Lake, it's rich in hydrogen sulfide. But that other thing that makes this one super interesting is that nobody's ever been able to find the bottom of this lake. We'd advise against swimming in it because who knows what's down there. Our guess is as good as yours. Plus, the toxic gas itself should be enough to turn you away. Did you know that not even a single local ever chooses to fish or swim here? Apparently, they believe that a terrifying dragon lives at the bottom. And do you really want to find out if they're right or wrong about this? We sure don't. Number 1. May the gods be with you. Would you jump off a cliff if your friends did? Sometimes the answer to that should be no. Kipu Falls in Hawaii is a very popular tourist attraction. It's also a place where many of those tourists have died. And the scariest thing about this one is that nobody's really sure why and how these people have drowned. Because according to the locals, the current isn't really unusual, and rescue divers have reported that water is actually kind of calm beneath the surface. While injuries and deaths may potentially occur because of the heavy traffic of people and their recklessness, there are whispers that ancient gods hide in these waves. And if you bother them, they return the favor in full. Now, we don't want to anger the gods, do we? And who knows, maybe the truth is even darker and scarier than this. So if you're taking a trip to Hawaii, there are countless places you can visit or take a swim in. Leave this one alone. Alright, which of these places did you find the scariest? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to TRENDJOINT, and we'll see you in the next one.